Hello, my people. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Depends where you are watching from at this moment of the day. Yes, lovelies. I have this interview granted by the leader of indigenous group of Biafra, the IPOP, for the sovereignty of Biafra, where he thoroughly dealt with the question of what Biafrans need, what it means, what it's for, and what it will be. In fact, I respect this young man. He's an erudite scholar, intellectual expert. This is a guy you cannot beat with your questions on every interview he granted. I can get tired. I cannot get tired. I can never get tired of watching this particular interview. So no matter when it was granted, it's something that needs to be refreshing in our minds every time, every day, every hour, every minute. Though many people may not have come across this particular video, and that is why taking time to bring it back to you, to your notice, even though you may have listened to this interview or watched that interview before, I want you to still pay attention to it the more and be able to know why, Nnamdi Kalu is making the movement of no retreat, no surrender. Sometimes I came now up with why did he say if after this watching this interview, I said, what? So if he had made this kind of a rigid statement that no retreat, no surrender, nothing will make him to go back, either Biafra or death, though he was able to explain what he meant by that. It's not carrying a gun or going for war, no. So, but even it takes him to die, in the process of trying to actualize the sovereignty of Biafra, that he will be excited and happy. He explained that was what he meant. So, after having, said this, which was so serious, he wasn't kidding. Now he came up with another, statement some day ago that if Nigerians should go to government house and stream live a comment or commentaries from the government house, that he will surrender the movements of actualization of this sovereignty of Biafra, that he will surrender, he will stop the agitation for Biafran nation. Man, this was a very strong speech, which means he was serious, and he's serious that nobody right now is in that government house at Sarok, because he was saying that Abekere's fingerprint is what they use opening that particular government house. Now he is dead, that nobody can open there, nobody can break there. It will take a lot of work for that there to be opened. That if the federal government doubts him, argues him, and say what he's saying is not true, let them go and stream live, do a live streaming from the government house, from the Asarok, that as soon as they do that, he's going to surrender the sovereignty of actualization of this Biafra. This was a strong statement. To me, it was like, does it mean he's sure of what he's saying for him to have made this particular vow of giving up the struggle that has denied him a lot of things? He has sacrificed a lot. Let me use that word. He has sacrificed a lot of things for that. He will give up that if there should be a live streaming from government house showing that the government house is open. That is to say, he's sure it is not open. It's not even the president, fingerprint that they used to do. I tagged the video here. The video is here. Try to watch his interview. The very interesting interview.
What does Biafra mean?
It means freedom, liberty, fairness, equity, and justice.
In practical terms, these are very good sounding words, but in practical terms, what does Biafra mean?
Confederation.
So a weak center,
Very weak.
very strong regions.
Absolutely.
Have you had a change of mind, therefore, about getting an independent Biafra? Because that's what I seem to be hearing.
No, I've not changed my mind, no. And independent Biafra means going back to the way we were before the white man came.
Okay, so you're not talking about a federation when you say a confederation. You're not talking about a federation as part of Nigeria. You're talking about total independence.
Absolute independence.
Complete independence. Now, is there anything that can happen that will make you change your mind about this particular direction?
No.
So it is either Biafra or nothing
Or
else?
death, yes.
Or death?
That's good.
If push comes to shove,
Yes.
will you go to war?
No, because truth is a far more potent and deadlier weapon than bullets and mortars.
So
Truth.
no war? You've ruled out the...
Absolutely, I
the
don't believe in war. No, no war. When I say Biafra or that, I'll keep pushing. Either I am alive, I die in the process, I won't stop. Allow me to repeat, if you don't mind. Had sovereign national conference been convened by the powers that be, where every ethnic national, I said every, I don't care if there are 600, I don't care. Everyone is
all the 500 plus.
everyone together to say this is all. Others can delegate, I don't know, powers to other people to attend on their behalf. Sit down to say, what type of country do we want? Sit down, discuss, agree. I can begin to perhaps submit to your position.
Is it too late?
It is way too late. They've killed too many people. They've ruined too many lives. They've wasted too many souls. How do we bring those people back?
If the federal government, given the agitation that is going on, becomes convinced that, you know what, these people have a point, it is time to actually address all these issues, and they begin to systematically address some of these issues, would you change your mind?
No, because of the deceptions of the past.
No trust.
No trust. Aburi was there, it was negotiated. Nothing happened. 1968, if I recall. And the confab report, what became of it? How about the 3 R's? Reconciliation, reconstruction, and heaven knows what else. What became of them? Nothing. Calabar Seaport is not working. Can you tell me why it's not working? It's a seaport used by the colonial masters. Why is it not working today? How about Iguacha Seaport? Why is it not being used? Why not worry? Why must we allow only Lagos to function as a viable seaport? In England, where I used to live, you had Liverpool, you had the Sun, which is Portsmouth, Southampton, everywhere. You had harbors and ports. So why must you have only one?
I've heard people say these are very valid arguments, and that these are things that are to do with bad governance. So the average Biafran, to use your phrase, or Igbo man in the Igbo, is facing poverty much in the same way that the average guy in Yobe State is facing poverty. And so these are issues of governance. You don't agree with that?
I agree completely.
Okay. So if that is it, why isn't the agitation about tackling the problem, which is ensuring good governance, perhaps starting from locally? Because part of the allegations against you is that you don't confront your political leaders in the East, and you'd like to blame Abuja for everything.
Because the way I would want to solve a problem is not how a Fulani man would want to solve it.
You really believe this is an ethnic thing, and the
ethnic.
approach is different?
No, the approach is different. No, it's not ethnic. It is more to do with value system.
Right.
The way you may want to solve a problem could be markedly different from how I do mine.
What is the geographical makeup of Biafra, as far as you are concerned? This Biafra that you want. So, for example, if we're doing a referendum where will that referendum take place? Is it only the 5?
No.
It's okay.
It's on, which is River State, Bayelsa, Delta, Anambra, Imo, Enugu, Ebonyi, Cross River.
Akwa Ibom?
And Akwa Ibom, of course. Akwa Ibom, yes.
Right.
Those are the coastal. Basically,
Bayelsa?
yes. Southeast and South-South without Edo State.
Without Edo State.
That's correct. And then including Igede, Idoma.
Right, the Benues. So
That's
the
correct.
Igalas and part of the Kogi,
Yes,
Kogi
yes,
State, right?
yeah.
Nyesom Wike, the governor of Anambra, sorry, the governor of River State, made a statement, I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday,
yes, I heard about it.
and said, you know, you should not be including River State.
It's for
and
the people of River State
the
to decide, not him. I can't decide for Biafrans. They have to go and vote and convince the whole world that they want Biafra. It's not for instance, it's only one man, one vote.
What if they're not even willing to take part in the referendum? Because I've had people from the South, for example, from Bayelsa. I've had people from Cross River. I think there's a famous actress, Kate Henshaw, for example, wrote a long piece about why people of the South don't want to be dragged into a place called Biafra. You're saying, regardless of what they say, you want a referendum in those parts?
Because I know the majority of the people want a referendum. I was in Iguacha yesterday.
How do you know?
I was there yesterday. I was in Iguacha yesterday. You call Port Harcourt. I was there yesterday. I should have been there to see what happened.
Now,
They were delighted to see me. I'm sure you know that. It's all over the place. They're very happy to see me. I bet Kate Henshaw wouldn't get such reception were she to go to
she's a
Iguacha.
big, popular Nollywood actress. I wouldn't necessarily...
I'm telling you, if I go to her village, people will turn out to see me more than turn out to see her.
Okay, my people, you have heard him. After this interview, he was able to come up again and said the indigenous people of Biafra movement will be, you know, surrounded if there will be a live streaming from the Asarok government, you know, house. So that means he's sure of what he was saying. I don't know where he gets his information. He behave like a prophet. Oh, man. If it is in those days of prophecy, I would say he is. I don't know. So, okay, my people, tell me what you think about what he said comparing to this interview. In fact, be safe, maintain the social distancing, keep safe, please.